Aw, babies. Who doesn't love babies? Babies are great, but you know what's better than an average baby? Well, a super baby. That's the baby you actually want. Inside the Silicon Valley push to breed super babies. Guys, as always, welcome to the channel. If you want to learn more about realistic survival and preparedness so as to get ready for the damn evil world that we're obviously living in that's out of a dystopian horror movie, you have a lot of information here on the channel already, and I always recommend my books, Surviving the Economic Collapse, as well as Street Survival Skills. These are books that will have a lot of information just to get you ready for all of this and a lot more. Yeah, practical first-hand knowledge that is going to be increasingly important because it's pure eugenics. Yeah, they're disguising this as something regarding health, right? But at the end of the day, healthy and unhealthy families, really, lady, all you're offering is a service to throw to the trash babies that your clients do not want. And I'm sure you're going to do some genetic screening there in terms of predisposition to some diseases and whatnot, but your clients will also ask, okay, so do I have the blonde baby? Do I have the blue-eyed baby? Yeah, the genetic stuff, but I'm just buying a baby as if I'm in a restaurant in a menu, lady. We know that, right? Noor Sadiq, literally what the article says. This woman will decide which babies are born, and they will buy the babies that are a little bit more attractive based on, well, you know, there was a little bit of controversy recently with this young woman, Sydney Sweeney, actress, model. She is naturally blonde, and she has blue eyes, and she does, well, what attractive women do. She monetizes that by being an actress and at times a model, even though she's like 5'2". But she's good looking, she's attractive, she has a very attractive body for sure, and this is something that was nice for Jean's campaign from American Eagle, and she did a lot like tricky using words there like Sydney Sweeney has good genes, which she obviously does in terms of the beauty department. She's definitely attractive, and that got a lot of ugly people upset because some of these woke losers, they were like, what? She says she had good genes? Well, I would say she does have good genes. She's definitely attractive. I have a story, though, to share in terms of attractiveness and whatnot and blue eyes. And many years ago, my mother, she was hiring a new secretary for her office, right? And my brother back then, around 22, 23 years old, he was aware of this new employee. And he was, there was a phone call. Hey, Mom, how are you doing? Okay, doing great, okay. So you hire someone? Yeah, you actually found a young lady for the job. She's already here. Great. How old? 21 years old. Okay, 21. And how, she's blonde. Yeah, son. She's a blonde, blue-eyed 21-year-old woman. And by the way, this was not in the conversation because my brother was already running towards having lunch with my mom. That was obviously his main interest, right? But this woman, she was 21-year-old, 22-year-old woman, blonde, blue eyes. She was not 5'2" like Sydney Sweeney. She was like 5'5", 5'6" maybe, and not fat. My brother was like drawing the cartoon of the going through the door without even opening. He walks through the door into the office, takes one look, and he was oh, Mom, screw you! You could have told me. She was 5-something. She was tall-ish for a woman. She was blonde. She had blue eyes, but she was not good looking, right? Sydney Sweeney is a good-looking woman. The person that my mom hired, even though she was genetically had the similar, and she was genetically taller as well, she was not blessed with attractive facial features, and she, even though she was not fat, she did not have a slim body and a nice rack like our friend here, Sydney Sweeney. All of this says that just by looking at a little petri dish doesn't say much other than, yeah, you may have blue eyes, you may be blonde, you may have one or more genetic traits that make you maybe more predisposition to have something that's less desirable or not. But you're not God. This woman, by doing this, she's not playing God. She knows that she's not playing God. She's just murdering a bunch of babies by throwing them into a trash, which her clients do not want. Pretending to make all of this about health, it's actually just selling babies to billionaires. That's what they're doing. She's selling the service of throwing to the garbage the babies they don't want. Some of them will have some genetic, but she has no idea. There is a ton of other medical issues that she has no way of knowing. Those babies may be born and they may have issues that she just does not control. You're not buying a healthy baby. You're just buying the menu of like going into a restaurant and deciding if your baby will avoid some potential illness in the future. Yeah, a small degree of that is what this is really all about. This is really more about trying to buy a blonde, blue-eyed baby, which is, it's sick. It's disgusting. Just like it is disgusting to see a bunch of ugly people get upset about this woman being attractive and doing ads saying that she has good genes, which, yeah, you could argue that she does, at least in the beauty department. She's not going to win any Olympics jumping, anything, because she's 5'2". But if you go this way, you know who would have been discarded as well? You know who this woman would have discarded? Fucking Chris Hemsworth has a genetic predisposition that makes him more likely to have some neurological disease in the future. He did like an entire documentary episode thing. Yes, Chris Hemsworth, damn Thor. He's also blonde, and like Sydney Sweeney, he's tall, and he has a genetic predisposition that makes him more likely to have a disease in the future. It's not guaranteed, but it is just a little bit more likely. You do not control any of this. You don't control the future. You don't even control what diseases these people will have or not. You definitely do not control if you're going to get hit by a bus a week from now. You're just pretending to play God, but when at the end of the day you're doing is eugenics for billionaires. And these, as the article says, this woman will decide which babies get born, because pretending to be all about health is only going to be millionaires that will be able to afford this kind of service that eventually will probably be required by the governments that give you a permit for a baby or not. The future is now. It is not looking good. You better get prepared.